desert was still, the sun hung like a molten coin in the sky, and the people of Israel sat beneath the cloud that had never left them. Day and night it hovered, glowing by fire, shading by day. Beneath it the tribes marched, rested and waited. They had seen wonders, they had walked between walls of water, they had stood at Sinai, and yet the hunger crept in, not for bread, not for water, but for Egypt. It began with whispers. I miss the fish, the cucumbers, the melons, the onions, the garlic, and then the tears came. At the doorways of the tent, they wept, not from hunger, but from desire, and desire, when it burns without boundary, is a dangerous flame. Moses heard them, and Moses, the man of God, broke under the weight of their cries. Why me? He pleaded with the Almighty. Did I bet these people that I must carry them in my arms like a nurse? If this is my burden, please kill me now. But heaven did not strike. Heaven shared the burden. 70 men were called, elders, wise and strong, and upon them descended the spirit that rested on Moses. One by one they stood, their eyes shining, their mouths speaking truths they had never known. But far off in the camp, 2 others, Eldad and Medad, also began to speak. They had not stood with the elders. They had not even stepped forward, but the fire of prophecy found them where they were. The young man ran to tell Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. Joshua the lawyer cried out, My master, stop them! But Moses turned. His eyes were not angry, they were tired, wise and full of longing. I wish that all of God's people were prophets, he said, and that his spirit rested on them all. Then came the wind. From the sea it hurled across the desert, bringing with it a sound like the beating of countless wings. Quail, thousands, tens of thousands, they fell upon the camp in waves, 3 feet deep, stretching a day's walk in every direction. The people rose and gathered, day and night without rest. They packed baskets, they loaded wagons, they filled their mouths. But even as the meat was between their teeth, before it could be chewed, the plague began. Sickness swept through the camp like smoke through dry branches. They died with meat still in their hands, and the place was named Kivut Hathaver, the graves of craving. But the story was not yet over. In the days that followed, another fire burned, not in the skies but in the hearts of Miriam and Aaron, brother and sister to Moses. They began to question, did God only speak to Moses? Miriam whispered, has he not also spoken to us? And once again heaven heard. The cloud descended. The 3 siblings stood together, Moses, Aaron and Miriam, before the presence that has split seas and shaken mountains. And God spoke, not in thunder but in fire and judgment. To prophets I speak in visions, in dreams, but to Moses, face to face. How dare you speak against my prophets? The cloud rose and Miriam's skin turned white, leprous. Aaron turned in horror. My Lord, he begged Moses, please, don't let this sin stand. Don't let our flesh be as if half consumed. Moses said only 5 words, a prayer, a cry. Please, God, heal her now. And God answered, but mercy had a price. Miriam was cast outside the camp for 7 days, alone and exiled. For 7 days the people did not move. The cloud hovered, the tents remained. The journey paused for her. Because even in the wilderness of judgment, even in the desert of failure and fire, the people of Israel waited until their sister was whole again.